100x, could do 1,000x, you never know over time. But this is Logan here, and Logan and a couple of others, including myself, were able to get in early on this IDO. You see that big, see that arrow down there at the bottom? You ever wonder who those guys are at the bottom? That's us. The people that get, that's you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the people that get in early, people that are here in this room right now. You guys get it. You guys are already doing this, and some of you probably didn't even know it. Okay, so IDOs are basically when you get involved when a token is born. Now here's the problem. There's a lot of scams out there. Anyone ever been scammed on a new token launch or IDO?
No.
They are everywhere. Yes, big hand right there. And I think it's, to me, what happens is if you can get involved with these projects that I hear that you guys are getting involved with, is helping birth trusted, like a launch pad, some type of launch pad where you're bringing tokens, you're vetting these projects that come, isn't that one of the plans?
Catapult swap,
yeah,
baby.
Catapult swap.
Yeah.
Yes, this is where you get involved with something that's trusted, where things are vetted, where you're not going to get rug pulled. And that's amazing. So you guys are in the right place at the right time. And this is how you get in early. That's how you get to be that person down at the very bottom before it goes like that. And that's how you turn $101 into $49,000. Now we're just a few weeks into this. Most people in crypto have a hard time thinking more than 10 days in the future. 20 days in the future. Anyone ever bought a token and like a week later you're like, gosh, dang it, I went down. I'm selling. And that's what happens with a lot of people. If you go back in history, Bitcoin, all that, they go, oh my gosh, Bitcoin went down from $200 to $100, sell, you know. So you have to have a long-term vision. When you have a really good product with a really good vision, really good team behind it, a lot of good plans, it's going to go places, just like this company is. Is this company going to go places? Yeah! So let's talk about micro to mid caps. That's the second strategy. So what's a micro cap? What's a micro cap crypto? Micro cap crypto. What is True Badger right now? Do we know what the market cap is?
Like 32 million.
Yeah. You are a micro cap. Okay? A micro cap is a very, very small cap right now. That's a good place to be, especially when you are a small company that's going to be a big company.
Could you repeat that, please? I think
yes.
Everybody needs to hear that.
Listen. Let me give you an example. Pancake Swap. You guys heard of Pancake Swap? Yes. Pancake Swap started as a micro cap where you could get the token for pennies. Highest was $44 just earlier this year. Do you know what happens when you have a token where it's pennies and it goes up to $44? Lots of money. So when you're a micro cap and you turn into a large cap and then a mid cap and then you get to the uber caps, but the sweet spot, for me, I like the micro to mid caps. When you go from the millions of dollars into, you start to get into the multiple millions of dollars and you get close to that billions of dollars, that's when the true growth happens. That's why $1,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago turns into $13 million 10 years later. Because it was a micro cap when it first started. So that's what everyone has to understand. You're a micro cap right now. You have this massive, you're in early. You guys are the early adopters. Here's another example, Binance Coin. If you had put $1,000 with Binance when they first started, it'd be $7 million. And that's only like 4 years. It's like 2017, I think, when Binance, right during the bear market. Bear market is a great time to buy, by the way. So you have to start thinking more than 10 minutes into the future, more than 2 weeks in the future, more than 30 days into the future. You really need to think of years into the future. You're going to get 4 years older anyway, right? Don't sell. Okay? Hold on. All right. These are the types of tokens, projects that we like to get involved with. The ones that are going to be the most successful. Infrastructure. What's an infrastructure project? Infrastructure projects are projects that you have to have that token. You have to have that to interact with it. So, anyone ever use Ethereum? Yeah, you probably do. If you use Uniswap, anyone use Uniswap? If you use Uniswap, you have to have Ethereum. Okay? If you infrastructure is people are going to use your platform. Right here. People are going to use you're the infrastructure. You're building what people are going to do. They have to use your tools to get whatever they want to get done. Infrastructure projects are amazing. Smart contract protocol blockchains, finance, Ethereum. These are all smart contract protocols out there that smart contracts have really changed the world. That's really, if you really boil it down, Bitcoin is awesome. It's a great store of value, but smart contracts have what really changed the world of crypto and made it big. So smart contract protocols, new blockchains that launched. Micropayments is a great thing. BNB Pay, that one just launched a few months ago. That thing is rocketing. Anything that's involved with micropayments, those are great projects. CEX, centralized exchanges, and DEXs, decentralized exchanges. Those are great. PancakeSwap, what we're doing here, get involved with those. Launch pads, trusted launch pads, just like you're doing here. Those are great projects to be involved in. I'll give you an example. There's another launch pad. I won't say the name of it, but I saw that it was launching on another blockchain. I just got involved the other day in it. I put about $8,000 into it, and the launch pad's going live. It's gone up to $40,000 already in a week. My investment of the amount of tokens. Because so many people, listen closely, so many people want to get in on these launch pads. They want to get in on these launch pads because these companies are vetted, and this is where you can get in and get it onto these. You can be that person that starts at the bottom, and everyone else is, they find out about it later, but you've already found out about it because you were on the launch pad. You were there early. Pure DeFi, GameFi, Pure NFTs, these are all great projects to get involved in. These are projects that will be around for a long time. These aren't the meme coins. These aren't the ones that have no use case, no utility. Those don't last very long, or very few of the Shiba Inus, those kind of ones that are coming out there. They're very far and few between the ones of those. Yeah, you can make money in some of those, but some of those for long term probably won't be around. So the other thing is with micro and mid caps is, listen closely. You want to buy these during the boring phase, the red phase, when nobody else is buying, but they have a great project, they have a great team. So what happens is a lot of these projects will, boom, they'll just take off and they'll go crazy, and they'll do all this fundraising, and then slowly or fast drops down. And now the team's going, they're building their projects, they're working on their projects, and it's in the boring phase. That's the best time to buy, because the boring phase, eventually when they get the projects launched and they get going, boom, that's when they take off. And unfortunately, most people wait till it takes off to buy, and you've already lost some of that opportunity. You want to buy during the boring phase. I'll just say this, True Badger, to me, I kind of had a little bit of a boring phase, right? You guys launched, you got going, you're a couple months, and the price was just going straight. And then you started seeing the price go up. So you got involved in the early phase, which is kind of interesting. I didn't tell you this until I started at the beginning. I had no idea about True Badger. I run a company called Crypto Swap Profits, and we are an education and research company, so we're constantly researching new projects and potentially profitable opportunities. And I have a team that does this in myself, and I remember sitting there one night going, I think this is like June 13th. And I was sitting there looking, and I was like, hey, look at this one. And I actually read white papers. My team, who was talking about white papers? We read those from everything. My team reads those. We mark them. We have a system where we score things. And I said, this True Badger looks really good. Let's put it as a swap alert. So the afternoon of June 14th, we put the swap alert out there. So a bunch of our investors, boom, 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 got involved. Who was here in the room? It was around Todd. I think you may have seen that. So a whole bunch of our people were early investors. That's the first thing I ever heard of True Badger. I didn't even know you guys were having this kind of stuff. I had no idea. And then the next week, I got 3 calls over the next couple of weeks from some people that said, hey, by the way, that True Badger, I have some friends, and it's a real company. What are they called? True Badger. Oh my gosh, you still swap alert on those guys. So it's kind of funny. I had no idea you guys were doing all this fun stuff. This is great. we're an independent research company that we researched you, and we were like, hey, this is good. This is good. We need to get So there we go. Last one. Here's another example. eCash was another one that a lot of us got in right there. We did a quick 9x over the next month and a half or so. So you want to get into these things when it's in the boring phase, but when they have really good. And I would just say this: when someone just has an idea, we are going to do this. That's not necessarily always a good one to get involved with. They got to show that they've done some stuff. See, you guys have done some stuff already. You already had proof that you were doing things. Just because someone puts a fancy white paper together, that's what we call a rug pull. You know, they can put some so many times I see students and they say, but the website looks so good. The white paper looks so good. And now it's gone. It's empty. It took off with my money. It doesn't, I mean, you spend $20,000 to build a website and all this kind of stuff and run off with $500,000 of money. So just be careful. Be careful. Just because something looks good, you actually have to really deep dive into it. All right, let's go to farming and staking. How much time do I got left? All of it? Okay. Farming and staking. This is where we get into some passive income. Someone mentioned this earlier, and they said, who knows what staking is? And I didn't see very many hands go up. So the world's best hedge fund returns about 11% each year. Woohoo! Hedge fund, 11%. That's great, right? But if I could show you right now how you could just put your money away and make 12%, day in, day out, would you do that? Yeah. This is what's happening right now. This is why banks are scared. Because they realize that they're dumb money and that crypto is smart money. And so right now, you can put your money and just get a 12%. Swap. All day, swap, yeah, 12%. So these are all over the place. Just open your eyes. Now, if you want to get more involved with yield farming, something called yield farming, you can plug digital dollars like USDC, USDT, or BUSD, and they're 1-to-1 into a dozen different yield farms that will print over 11%, essentially risk-free. And when the world finds out about this, and they're starting to find out about this, oh boy, it's going to get crazy. These ETFs that were just approved for Bitcoin right now, people say, this is, I'm not a financial advisor and there's no promises here, but people say, yeah, $100,000 Bitcoin, you wait till it hits 250.
Yeah.
In January, you wait.
250, guys.
This is what always happens.
250,000.
People, it goes up and it's like, oh my gosh!
There you go, thank you.
That's what happens with Bitcoin. So I think we're going to see something like that. All right, so what is farming and staking? But basically, farming and staking is this, and it was already explained earlier today. Basically, this is where you take your tokens and you say, listen, you're going to hold my tokens. We're going to use it as part of the liquidity, and you're going to hold it, and it's going to grow more tokens. I'm going to get rewarded for letting me hold those tokens into your farm or stake it into your pool, and you get to use my tokens, and in reward, I'm going to get those tokens back. It's like you're earning interest. You're going to get more tokens, okay? That's what they call it, yield farming. You're basically earning crypto for helping provide liquidity. I just like to call it making money while you sleep. Anyone like to make money while they sleep? Yeah. I get excited about this stuff. But this is kind of how yield farming works. You're actually kind of lending your crypto out. You're getting interest back. People are borrowing it. It all happens on the blockchain with smart contracts. You don't have to understand any of this. Just know that you can make money with this. Basically, you're getting paid transaction fees. Every time you go to PancakeSwap or whatever swap, and there's a fee. Okay, so you're going to get some of that fee. That's how that works. You're providing liquidity into this, and so you're participating in this. You're getting paid some of those fees. Wouldn't that be cool if like banks did that? Hey, Mr. Bank guy, I'm putting my money in your account, and you're going to give me 0.001%. I mean, they're doing the same thing, right? They're lending your money out and giving you nothing. In some countries, you actually have to pay a bit of a percentage to keep your money there. All right, so if you write down this site, DeFi Llama, have you guys ever been to the site? It's a great resource for finding yield farms, all the different protocols that are out there. You can spend a lot of time out there just really doing a lot of research and finding the different things in DeFi. It's a great site. They just list a lot of different sites out there for whatever you want to do, lending, the different dexes that are out there. DeFi Llama, great site. All right, so farming and staking. Now, you can get a little bit more risky with these. And if you want to go staking and farming in some of these more risk pools where the reward is a little higher, you can do that. And that's one that I did with this one farming and staking, and was able to get about in 14 hours, $213, and this one can churn out about $6,000. But you also have some risks involved in some of these yield farmings. If you get involved with the riskier ones, Todd knows a lot about these. You can lose some funds as well, or you can have some what's called impermanent loss. It does get kind of geeky. Sometimes you have to keep feeding money into some of these. So there's some that are more conservative than others out there. Todd's a good guy. He knows a lot about yield farming as well. But what's cool about a lot of these yield farming is you can earn compounding interest. And if you understand the power of compounding interest, you start adding it up, you're like, oh my goodness, this can add up pretty quick. All right, let's move on to the next one, bots. All right. There's a lot of bots out there, of course, and I've been amazed just sitting here at lunch today and chatting about Digibot, and we've had some of our members using this as well. We're diving into this a little bit more. It's a great bot. It's a great. I mean, there's a reason you guys spent 2 days learning about this bot. I mean, everything that I've learned about this, it's a great bot. So the thing is with bots, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because most of you just spent 2 days going over this, but bots can really help you minimize the amount of time that you have to spend at this, because most people who are doing crypto are still living their life, working their job, retired, whatever you want to do, and a bot can really help you and can help you manage those risks as well. So I highly recommend that you deep dive into those, get involved with Digibot. It's a great program. Yeah. This is the next one a lot of people don't know about. That's mining and nodes. So I heard someone mention helium just a moment. So you guys know Bitcoin was originally started with Bitcoin miners, and it's basically computers that were out there building up the blockchain. That's basically what it is. A whole bunch of computers out there running these programs. That's what the blockchain is. It's like a bunch of computers running a specific program, and because the people are running those programs, they're getting rewarded for those. That's all mining really is. And so there's more mining out there and running what are called nodes than just Bitcoin out there. And I think a lot of people don't realize this. So let's start with hold on, let's see what slides I got here. Okay, here we go. So for example, you can run what's called a node. So Cardano is a perfect example of these. So people say, oh, there's a new token out there, Cardano, it's like number 3 out of the market caps out there. It's a great project. But people don't understand there are thousands of people running these nodes. It's basically a piece of software that you run on a computer, either in a data center, you can run it at your home, and it runs the nodes. It's like think of it like a Bitcoin miner. It's kind of doing the same thing. It's called proof of stake. So listen to this. This is what's crazy. February 16, 2020, if you were to go download the Cardano node and went through the documentation, learn how to run one of these things, you could be making about $2 a day. They pay you in ADA, okay? So $2 a day, you're just running the computer program, making sure it's running. You're making $2 a day. Woohoo! Okay? That was when ADA was 6 cents. Fast forward to around today, it's about $2.22. That's about $73 a day. So now you've had your computer program running, you make sure it's updated, now you're making $73 a day. And if ADA hits $10 one of these days, it's about $330. So I want you to think about that for a minute, because if you got in early and ran one of these nodes, you're making $2 a day, you're probably not making much of your money back. And that's the thing with these nodes, is you're not making your investment back right then. And that's the problem. People don't think more than 10 days into the future. You gotta think years down the future. So when you get in early to some of these and you run these nodes, you can do really well. The problem is if you start one of these Cardano nodes right now, you're about 100 grand if you really want to get into it and make some decent money. So the key is to find these projects that have these nodes and get in what? Early. And some of them won't ever do anything, some of them will. So the key is to really start a node, and this is passive income. Passive income, just computer running. And you can figure these out, they're not too hard. Call your grandkid or cousin or son or something and say, hey, set this up for me. Here's another way to do this, and this is ingenious. You're going to see this happening all over. So there's a lot of these places where you can get these devices now, and you just plug them in, and you make money. That sounds scammy, right?
Yes.
But it's not, if you really look at it. So the perfect example is helium hotspot mining. What helium is doing is you buy these helium hotspots. Bart, you just said you had 2 of them sitting at home. They're hard to get right now, actually. They're really backed up. Anyone doing this yet? You get this helium hotspot, you plug it in, and what they're doing is creating a blockchain, which is a wireless network. If you're like a telephone company, Sprint, whatever, T-Mobile, you want to start up a network, what do you got to do? Spend millions of dollars building towers. But now what you can do is just piggyback off the internet, create these little boxes, have people plug them in, and now you pay those people to have those boxes plugged in. You're mining, you're doing what's called mining, you're creating this network. So what they're doing is they're creating this wireless network where they're going to do all kinds of things. They're able to sell services and do things. And it's people just like us, decentralized, that are running these boxes, and you'll get paid when you plug these in. There's a whole bunch of these out there. There's one called Planet Watch, where you plug it in, it monitors air quality. And there's the other ones out there. There are some scammy ones out there too, so be aware. There definitely are some real ones out there. So it's basically plug a box in, and again, key is you want to get in early on some of these. All right, let's go into the 6th one, and that is NFTs. We're just going to spend just a little bit on that. But who knows what an NFT is? Like, really? Come on. Who really knows what an NFT is? Okay. No. So all it is NFT is this. NFT is a non-fungible token. It means there can only be one that exists. It's like so unique. People say, well, I can just take a screenshot of that. I've got it now, but you don't have it. People collect things like Pokemon cards. Some of these Pokemon cards have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you go, what the heck? Or, people are into collecting things. So NFT art is this new phenomenon that's been happening where people like to collect art. It's almost like a status symbol. So you get these NFTs, but when you really get into it, what it is, it's a club. These NFTs that are selling for millions of dollars, people are paying, they want to be in a club. And that's what they're doing. It's not just the art that you're getting, it's the benefits you're getting with it. So you get to hang out with other millionaires or whatever it is. That's what's really happening behind the scenes. So there's a lot of things with NFTs that are happening right now. One example is, we just talked about what that is, but you can do what's called NFT flipping. So NFT flipping is the most riskiest thing that you can do in crypto right now. Let's just get it right on the table. You do not know what you're doing with NFT flipping. Don't do it, because a lot of people are going to end up with a bunch of expensive stuff they paid for. It's not worth anything, unless you get into the right project. Like the project we heard this morning with the music, that's awesome, because artists get paid jack for their stuff, so that's great. So I have a buddy named Roger, just posted this the other day. He flipped these NFTs for $400,000, $250, flipped it for $87,000, I don't know, it was like a week later or something like that. So you can get into this NFT flipping. It's basically like buying this stuff. It's almost like you're selling it on eBay for hire. That's what OpenSea is. It's basically eBay for NFTs. And there's going to be more of these out there. So NFT flipping, totally different world than just kind of regular crypto, but it's so new and so advanced. But be careful, because you can lose pretty quickly. I'd seen it. This is one where people monitor Twitter, and they're just kind of looking at trends and which one would be good to buy. And I'll buy this one, and it goes up 6 ETH in a week. You want to flip it, and you hope someone buys it. If they don't buy it, you can't sell it. See, it's different than crypto. Crypto, if you want to get out of it, you can usually liquidate and get out. But NFT, you might be stuck with something forever. And so, you may have spent $6,000 for a picture. But for people that can figure this out, they can do pretty well. But this is what I think NFTs is really going to get into. This is where I think the biggest thing with NFTs, and that's gaming and gamify. Because this has already been a proven strategy where companies for years have had things you can buy in games, and kids making millions of dollars on Counter-Strike and selling skins and all kinds of stuff. But what happened with those is the companies own those things, but now they're going to be on the blockchain. And that's the difference. Have you heard of Axie Infinity? One of the biggest crypto launches of the whole year. Huge returns on this one. It's all involved with NFTs and gaming. the gaming world is huge. And so some of these projects right now that are launching, you're going to hear about them in the news. People are going to be playing these. They're going to be making money playing video games. I just saw this screenshot from this kid in the Philippines who just bought a home for his family because he plays games. It's on the blockchain. And he was able to buy a home for his family. You know, decent sized home there costs about $10,000, so he was able to make a good sum of money playing games. All right, let's go to the last one. And you guys already know about this one. This is swaps. This is investing in crypto. Using decentralized exchanges. And, you know, how do I explain this? Everyone, you ever bought crypto on Coinbase? Yeah. That is a centralized exchange. And they have their purposes, and they'll probably always be there, and they're great. That's how you get that's a fiat on-ramp. That's how you put your money in. That's where you get your crypto into the DeFi world. Decentralized exchanges are the same thing. It's just that it's decentralized. The man, Coinbase, the owner of Coinbase doesn't own your crypto. Because when you have your coins on Coinbase, or Binance, or KuCoin, they control it. They can get hacked. They're a lot better on their security these days. But at the end of the day, you don't control your keys, they do. Decentralized, you control your keys, and you control everything. You can quickly swap back and forth between different tokens, and you don't have to get permission. Coinbase, you have to wait for them to list something, and hope they list it, but the DeFi is the wild, wild west. And it can be good, it can be bad. And you can get your crypto stolen. If you're not careful, you can fall into scams. So it's a whole different world, but it's an amazing world once you figure it out and learn it and take the time and take it serious. And I'll give you just a couple examples. Here's one that we got into earlier this year called GMR. If you had swapped $500, you would have made, in just a matter of a couple of days, you could have made $29,000 on that particular swap. Baby Doge, this one was really cool, because we had seen this one come out and we knew it was launching the next day. So we had a whole, Todd, were you around when that? Yeah. We literally were like online watching this birth and come to life. And people swapped, if you swapped $100, and we don't do a lot of these meme coins, but we did that one. If you swapped $100, and it was sold at the top, which you never do. You never know when the top exactly is going to be. We had to turn that into $18,000. People go, oh my gosh, these are real? Yes, they definitely are real. How do you find these really quick? There's a lot of ways to find them, but you've got to do a lot of research. That's one of the things our company does, is we just do a ton of research figuring out the good ones out there. You can go to coinmarketcap.com and you can go to the gainers and losers, and it'll give you an idea of, in the last 24 hours, which of these tokens have gained a lot. But the problem is, you need to be there 24 hours before that. Yeah. You can still find some good ones on here though. So some that are gaining, you can still go up there. But one thing I would always caution you, be really careful chasing the pump. It's really hard to make money chasing the pump. Because, has anyone ever bought a token and all of a sudden started pumping? Anyone ever done that before? Todd, I know you have. You have? And what happens? You see that starting to go up and up and up, and you're greedy, and you're like, yeah. And then what generally happens when it's going on a big pump? Boom, all of a sudden someone sells $500,000. And you're like, sell. So you can make money, but I always tell people it's better to buy in the boring phase and take your profits on the way up. Don't chase the pumps. But you can definitely go to CoinMarketCap and go find the ICO calendar as well. That's many times when you can find a lot of these projects that are launching. But again, be careful of scams out there. There's a ton of them out there. Another great one is CoinMarketCal.com. A lot of projects will put their different events on there when they're launching, when they're maybe, the bigger projects are going to be launching their mainnet, some of their other things out there. So you can get a lot of research from here and know when to get into things. I'll give you an example. Polkadot. Anyone into Polkadot? Oh, yeah. So a couple months ago, we were doing a lot of research and finding out what was going to be happening in the month of November, Parachain auctions, Kala and Moonbeam, and most of the world doesn't know about these things. But if you really deep dive in, you figure out what's going on with these plans, you can realize that, oh my gosh, if I buy DOT right now, it's probably going to 5x in the next couple months. And if you would have I bought some DOT 2 weeks ago, about 10,000 about. It's about $15,000 right now. Because what happened was just a couple days ago, they said, parachute auctions are going to happen November 11th. Oh my gosh, I need dot. And so now everyone waits. I bought it during more of the boring phase, right? I buy it before these big announcements come out and kind of go in and deep dive in them. So there's a lot of cool things that you could do if you really do your research. Problem is research can take a lot of time. All right, so just kind of going on here really quick. Again, when you're identifying these things, you've got to look at their smart contracts. There are tools out there you can see if there's problems with the smart contract. If it's honeypot, you guys know what that is? Who knows what a honeypot is? Honeypot is this. It's where you can buy it, but you can't sell it. Believe it or not, there's tokens out there that you can buy, and it goes live, and it's going straight up, and you're like, yeah, I made $1 million. You go try to sell on PancakeSwap, and error, can't sell, you're done. Just gave your money away. It's called a honeypot. So you have to really know what you're doing and look at these smart contracts. These smart contracts are there for a reason. GMR did really well. This is where you can understand your tokenomics. I heard that earlier today. That was one of the reasons why we really like True Badgers. We really like the tokenomics. Yeah. So it's geeky. It's geeky, guys. So it's geeky. But you don't have to totally understand tokenomics, but it's important to kind of get a basic understanding to understand because, you know, I'm not going to get into that. But tokenomics is super important because the amount of supply and everything really determines the price and what can happen. GMR again, we mentioned that one. We did that. All right, what's the 8th one? I don't know, we'll figure it out. But there's always new ones that are coming out, different ways to make money in crypto. And that's what's great about these windows of opportunities and new things come up. Who would have thought that earlier this year, Bored Ape, Yacht, whatever those guys are called, the Bored Ape Yacht Club and all that stuff, that those things would go for millions of dollars. Who would have known back in February? Who would have known? People bought those things back in 2017 for like $300. And now we're fast forward to 2021 and got millionaires who bought those NFTs. Oh, so those are the strategies. Did you guys learn anything today? I'm curious, what are those strategies there? Which ones, just yell it out, which ones did you like the best?
Swap.
Farming and staking. These are all great strategies, and the reason they're great strategies is I've done them myself personally, and I know which ones work and which ones don't work, and we've spent a lot of time. I'm not going to go through this because you guys have already gone through this, but just protect yourself from the bad guys out there. They want to steal your codes and your secret phrases. And you guys have talked about this, right? You get an email from MetaMask. They say, hey, we got to fix your wallet. We need your key phrase. What do? Ignore them. Go put your stuff on cold storage if you don't have a Ledger Nano or a Treasure or something like that. You guys, does anyone use those yet? Okay, for long-term storage of your crypto, you definitely want to control your keys, get a Ledger Nano. But listen, one other thing to protect your funds, don't just ape into projects just because someone says, hey, this one looks really cool, and you just go buy it. All right, be very careful. Listen, if they're already talking about it on YouTube, if they're already talking on TikTok, Instagram, you're too late to get in early. Doesn't mean that for the long term, it can go up, right? But, you can usually tell if it looks too good to be true. What is it? It's too good to be true, right? They don't have a team, they don't have a project, they don't have seminars like this, I've just been amazed at what I've seen going on here today and the people I've met too. So, like I said, you want to be in early, but when you see the 14-year-old TikToking it, saying dude and that kind of stuff, those are usually ones bro, get into this one, bro, that kind of stuff. You're good. Those aren't real projects, okay? All right. The one reason why some are making a killing in crypto, why others are failing, is this. There's two types of crypto investors out there. There's the gambler. I've been the gambler. And there's the master. All right? But what's the difference? Well, the gambler first hears about it from the news or friend or YouTube. Dogecoin's going up to $1. Dogecoin, $1 possible. Elon Musk tweets. That's how they first hear about crypto. They buy it on Robinhood, and I'm not criticizing Robinhood. Robinhood has its place. But most people realize that right now with Robinhood, you don't actually own your crypto. It's like owning a bar of gold versus owning a piece of paper saying you own a bar of gold. I think they might be getting crypto where you can actually own it. But they usually buy it on that. But this is the biggest thing, is they FOMO. Okay, they buy it at the top, and then they sell it when it's going down. The master does his own research, or gets involved with groups, trusted groups like this. They do their own research. They follow a set of rules. They use automation, like bots. And they buy when it's low, when it's in the boring phase. And then they sell at the top, or they take profits going up. So they buy there, they sell there, or they take their profits as they're going up. The gambler is the one that's giving his money to the master. They start to lose, and they don't understand the long term, and they sell at the bottom, which unfortunately a lot of gamblers sell at the bottom. If they would just hold on, if it's a good project, it'll go back up. Most likely, if it's a good team and a good project. So choosing to become the master really is the one thing. This is a skill. And if you say, I'm going to be the master, who wants to be the master? It just takes a minute to learn, be educated, get plugged into groups like this, be really, really serious about this, and you can become the master. So my goal for you is to become the master. No matter what your experience level is, just decide right now today, change your life. I'm going to be the master. I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to keep doing this. Even if you make a mistake, you're just going to keep doing it. You're just going to keep doing it. You're going to be that person that, like 4 years later, your friends look and go, hey, they started doing that crypto stuff. Now they're catching 70-pound salmon in Alaska, driving a Lambo. Whatever we want to do. But I promise you, in 4 years, you're going to get 4 years older anyway. Why not become the master in the next 4 years and change your life? So, this is scratching the surface. Just scratching the surface. I apologize. I can't. I could do a lot more with this, but listen. If you want these slides, you can just send an email to our support desk, support@cryptoswapprofits.com, and I'll have Lindsay or Emily. We can message you guys these slides. I'm not selling anything today, guys. Obviously, you have program and all that, but it's been really good. It's been exciting because I think like I said, we have some people in our room that are in the group, and to me it's all about the research and providing a trusted environment, and I'm so glad we got connected with True Badger. You guys are the kind of people we like to hang out with. Trusted people that know where they're going, and an awesome team, and this is great. You guys, if you've never been involved with crypto in the darky, seedy side of the scams, this is like a breath of fresh air. Do not sell your tokens. And I'm not involved with True Badger, this is just me telling you. I'm an outsider. Hold. Do not sell. Hold. See, you didn't tell me to say that. Look, 4 years from now, you will be in a far different place. I mean, they just got started. Just got started, and they have all these other projects. It's awesome. We like this guy. Okay. I appreciate your time. Just send an email there. We'll shoot you over the slides. And I'm done. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. All right.